All right, I think we got a green light to start. It's been a long waiting time. Please put your headphones on. Okay.
Yeah, thank you everybody for coming. So we're in for a kind of a silent disco experience here, everyone.
Well, not so silent actually, but
That's true. A lot of background noise, but a little bit looking like silent disco. So I hope that you enjoy this ride alongside us.
Cool, yeah, we are fully booked. So thanks everyone for coming, and warm welcome to our masterclass called How WhatsApp Changes Your Customer Relationship Status. So basically before I start with the content, maybe a short round of introductions. My name is Damian. I'm VP Success, Customer Success and Operations at Charles. So I'm responsible for all our customers, making them grow for their experience and of course for the outcomes that they achieve with Charles and with WhatsApp as a channel. And with me on stage, Jenny.
Hello everyone, my name is Yenny Cheng and I'm VP of Product at Charles. Started last year and I'm responsible for the product team working closely together so that we can together build a killer platform for you all with regards to the WhatsApp channel. Previously, I was working in the DevTools area, also in EdTech and conversational AI. So a lot of these elements also coming here into Charles. Today we're joined by Luisa in Dermalogica. Hello, Luisa. As well as Stefan from About You. Really honored to have them on stage together with us.
Great. So what is Charles about? What is this masterclass about? WhatsApp marketing. So Charles, the software tool, is a little bit more than WhatsApp marketing, but the topic for today is WhatsApp marketing. Maybe to just get a little bit of a feeling, I'm going to ask 3 questions to start with. The first one is very, very easy. So who among you is using WhatsApp? Okay, that I expected. It's basically everyone. Second question, who among you has ever communicated over WhatsApp with a business? Ah, okay. That's definitely more than last year. I'm asking always the same questions. Then question number 3 is, who of you is actually running a business or working for a business and communicates or uses WhatsApp as a channel? All right, so I think this is rather an experienced group, which I think we all like. I also see Stefan and Luisa smiling. So we can have an expert discussion, so to say, but maybe, so for most of you, it will be just a little reminder. One kind of like a refresher to start with. I'm not going to spend too much time on it. What is actually WhatsApp marketing or how does it work? I'm going to explain it in 4 steps. It will take me less than a minute, I guess. The first step is we always need to attract people, right? So in order to be able to, in a GDPR compliant way, communicate with people over WhatsApp, you first need to ask for a consent. So first, it always starts with attracting people, asking them for consent, building a subscriber list. Second step then is ideally segmenting people, so using also the power of integrations, adding data to it, adding more knowledge. Sometimes it's zero-party data or first-party data because people can actually interact with you on WhatsApp, so you collect more and more information about them. You can also use integration, you can use shop system data, CRM data, and use it for actually a segmented, more personalized approach. And then the third step is to really engage with the audience. And there are 3 ways. Service and sales conversations, they can be very one-on-one, personalized, and that's not going to be the focus of today. Second way and third way is really marketing campaigns, so it's more one-to-many, one-off campaigns, and marketing automation. So here we talk about post-purchase flows, welcome flows, abandoned cart flows, and so on. So those are, let's say, always-on campaigns. And in the end, of course, the last, but not definitely a very important step is to also track and earn, right? So all around analytics, A/B testing, that will be also an important part of today's session. So I think that's kind of like the refresher, right? Setting the foundations. Probably most of you know. There were many hands that I have seen. So that is no news. What else will be hopefully some news and some good insights for you? What is the agenda for today for us? The first step is we want to give you a little bit of context. Let's say some conceptual start. So we talk about how WhatsApp really solves the key challenges in retention marketing. We're going to share a bit what our insights are, what our learnings are from a little bit more than 300 clients that we have right now. what are the key problems in retention marketing and how we typically, or how WhatsApp as a channel helps to solve them. Then the second part, probably most exciting for most of you, is to get first-hand insights how about you and Dermalogica are solving those problems. Why they have started with WhatsApp, like what was the past, what was the beginning, what are they doing right now, and what is also the vision for the next years of WhatsApp. And last but not least, if all of that was interesting, we also give you a little bit of an insight how to get started. Right? So what are the key steps in order to get there? Right? So everything that you will learn from Steffen and Luisa, how to make it also possible for your own brand. That's it. That's the agenda for today. Maybe a little bit more context, right? So why is retention marketing actually a topic, and why is it a topic of increasing importance? Yeah, that's a scary number up there, right? 222% CACs increase over the last 8 years. Probably also not a big news for you, right? So growth, right? Growth, actually that is, let's say the ability to get more and more new customers incoming at a reasonable price. That's the lifeblood of e-commerce, right? And that's what everyone wants to do. However, those 222% make acquisition of new customers more and more difficult. Why is that the case? There are different reasons. First of all, of course, like the growing number of companies, the number more and more D2C coming up, also traditional retailers going more into e-commerce, online marketing budgets are growing. There are not that many new users on the platforms, so there is an increased competition. Data privacy reasons, of course, and many others, right? So that's basically the key challenge, and the consequence of it is that more and more focus, more and more attention, and also more and more marketing dollars are actually shifting from acquisition to retention. And with this, also, Luisa and Steffen are becoming more important, right? Because more and more eyes, more and more focus, more and more attention is actually, is going towards the CRM teams and going towards the retention marketing teams. And actually really getting the retention revenue, getting an increasing share of returning customers becomes more and more important, and basically, the cornerstones of profitable growth in 2024, right? And that's the key. Let's say, that's basically the underlying story and why this topic is so important for many e-commerce and D2C brands. But now, so in the next step, we are going to also talk a little bit more about what we see, what are the key trends, what are the key challenges, what are the key categories that we see. Before we do this, second interactive part, let's say, what are your key challenges, right? Because we also want to learn something new, and we also want to tailor the presentation a little bit to what your problems or challenges are. So who wants to start? Who wants to share one, or I don't know, like a key challenge, or what's top of mind when you think about your retention marketing strategy? What is the challenge? We can pass the mic around, so you just need to raise your hand and...
Yeah, we'll give you a few seconds to think about it, no? I'm sure as marketers, like day to day, you face a lot of challenges. So like a show of hands, maybe raise your hand if you want to share with the audience what are the problems that you face. Yeah, okay.
There's a hand. Nice.
Thank you, you're the first brave soul.
More to come.
No worries. I would say for our business, we're in the hospitality sector. So I'm working for a hostel chain called Wombat City Hostels. And I would say our biggest challenge is that our customers aren't returning on a regular basis, like on short time periods, but more on longer time periods, so on longer distances. Mm-hmm. So I think the biggest challenge here is to keep this retention, even though the next time they come back might be 2 years later, 3 years later. Yeah.
Okay, so it's purchase frequency, right? Purchase frequency and the time between purchases. How to maybe also increase the share of returning customers, like for time to second purchase, and then also the share. That's definitely something we hear more often. Yeah, that's one of the key elements that will be covered for sure.
Very cool. Let's keep them coming.
What else shall we cover today? There is some flexibility, as I said. right? There's another hand. Jenny, can you help me? I think it's...
So for us, it's also a bit special industry, so in pharma, and we are facing the issue to get the engagement starting. So sending out a message template, for example, but getting also the reply, so getting the customer to know that they actively have to reply to start a conversation.
Perfect.
Very cool.
Thank you. I really wanted to hear this, right? Interactivity, interaction. Email is a great channel for one-way, one-directional push messages. But how do you actually, get the pull, get the conversations going on, right? I think that's also something super, super interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Hi, I'm working for a company in B2B. So we don't really sell a product, we sell a service. So our challenge is to transport knowledge about the service.
Very good. So educational content, right? It's not only about promotions, yes, partially, right? You want to really also convert people, but you also want to educate about the services, about the products. Like even, I think it's super relevant for the service business, but also in product, only the second or third purchase can only happen if actually the product is being used up or it's actually being used properly. So that's something we also hear more often. Thanks. Maybe one more? I think there was one more, and then...
Thank you. I work in the real estate, and our challenge is because it's not a product that you buy every day. We really need to get the trust of the customer, and this is the messages that we have to transport over, every marketing channel.
Cool. Yeah. Also consistency in messaging. That's yet another challenge. Cool, I think, thank you for reconfirmations. I think many of it we can cover, and please hold us accountable if it's not covered by, let's say, the end of the session or maybe a little bit before that. There will be a Q&A, so we can also be a bit more flexible.
Very cool. Then let's get into the next session where we dive deeper into some of the problems that we just mentioned already. Like for example, what Paul just now mentioned on the timing, or we definitely have it planned as well, and several questions on the personalization aspect. How do you craft a message that can create trust, that can really get your branding and your voice across, right? These are things that we can also dive into. So maybe just to recap, right, from our side, from Charles, for the several years we've been operating with our customers, it can more or less, the challenges of our customers can be grouped into these 4 bigger categories, including reachability. How do you make sure that your message actually gets into the hands of users? And that's actually the first problem that we encounter. And then it's how relevant your messaging or how relevant the occasion is. So it's about personalization, but with limited resources, right? Because I'm not sure how big your marketing department is, probably not 1,000 people. So how do we get that personal touch? And then it's about, as Damian mentioned, the timing, when do you reach out to them to really capture their attention? And last but not least, also in terms of branding, in terms of creating that trust, right? How do you build that community so that they will come back to your brand and keep purchasing from your brand and keeping your brand top of mind as well to create that element of exclusivity? And that we'll also hear a lot about actually from our guests today. All right, without further ado, let's go into reachability. Some of the challenges that we hear very often is that some of the traditional channels in marketing start underperforming, right? So I'm sure for a lot of brands, you have built up a strong or a very big contact list. But somehow, when you send out a campaign, when you try to reach the customer, reachability still becomes a problem. And the root cause could be that the traditional channels are underperforming. If you look at email, right, even if you try very hard and you do a lot of optimization, the average open rate, we're talking about around 25%, or if you can really boost it, maybe 30%. And the click-through rate kind of drops to around 7% right now. So even if you have their contact, sometimes I also think to myself, my most popular key that I press when I use Gmail is E, right? That's archive. So because the volume has been so much on the email front, it has become a really crowded channel. So it's very hard to reach out to the people that you even have contact with, no? So one solution that brands have been looking into could be could be developing these applications, right? Then now we reach like another problem because branded apps often have lower download rates. In fact, 90% of the applications have less than 10K downloads, right? From what we see at Charles, when you send out a campaign, even with segmentation, it's easily more than 100K of people in one campaign. So if your app has a lower download rate, then it's really hard to capture like the volume and the relevancy that you want now. At the same time, the development also requires upfront investment because you need to first build the app, and then you need to get people to download the app, and then you need to get people to sign up the app, and then create a password and yada yada. No? But it's like a lot of steps to finally get to engagement, and then when you finally get them engaged, you need to continue to develop something, right, so that they can come back to the app repeatedly. So it's a lot of work to get to the result that we want. And the third aspect would be inactive contacts, right? Especially in email lists. I mean, I myself, I'm guilty with it because I think I have 10 email addresses that is kind of unused again. But then when you target them, it's quite difficult to differentiate whether they don't want to engage with your brand, that the information is not very relevant to them, or the fact that the email has been stale, that they don't use it anymore. But on the marketer's standpoint, then that would impact the analytics, right, from our side, so that it will have reduced ROI, or maybe like the analysis that you do wouldn't be as accurate anymore. Because we want to know for campaigns what hits and what doesn't. So these are several things we see on the reachability front. Now let's talk about how WhatsApp as a channel can solve these problems repeatedly. No? First of all, WhatsApp is the most reachable channel we're talking about. So as of now, WhatsApp have almost 3 billion active users that we're talking about, and you're reaching 1/3 of the people in this whole wide world, no? And actually, content business, as we see from the poll that Damian has done, is actually quite commonplace already, even in this audience. If you think about some countries where WhatsApp is more well adapted, like India, you're talking about 60%. For Brazil, 80%. And from where I am from, I'm from Hong Kong, right? Booking a restaurant, doing your hair, getting a massage, everything you do through WhatsApp already. And so it's really becoming a trend now, and it has become quite commonplace. And what is still very attractive is really the engagement stats, right? Just now we talk about email is maybe not very reachable, but here in WhatsApp, we're talking about a 90% reading rate, the open rate, as well as a 20% click-through rate. So the click-through rate is kind of comparable to the open rate for email. No? That's why this channel is so relevant, and we have seen a lot of successful examples with it. Now, second point on the branded apps that we talked about. So the good thing about WhatsApp is that you're kind of skipping the steps that we're talking about, the development, making people install, log in, all of that, right? And the engagement, thinking about building a native app that can rival the engagement stat of WhatsApp, right? 80% of the people in Germany have WhatsApp, and everyone who is on it spend on average 30 minutes on this app. As Louisa later might say, your brand already has, if someone has WhatsApp, right, you're being put in their pocket already. So the people already have a contact with you, and you don't have to worry about building up that engagement for the native app that you build. And there's less upfront costs for sure. So you can already get the engagement kind of out of the box that can benefit your business directly. Now third, it's also easier to prune these inactive numbers. While you can have 10 irrelevant emails that lie around, you can't really have a lot of fake numbers, right? So whenever you send out a campaign, there is a very easy way for you to filter out these invalid numbers. And so that also supports more accurate campaign analytics that you can do. And I know that's important for marketers, right? For us to understand what works and what doesn't. So that concludes a little bit of how WhatsApp is solving the reachability question. And then now let's come to a very exciting buzzword, right, kind of in the marketing field. So from our experience, what are some of the problems that we see from maybe your side as well? One is the data being quite dispersed, because WhatsApp is one channel, you have email, you have your CRM, you have some random database in your company. So what we have heard is that that data is quite dispersed in your local area, and then it's pretty hard to also do these one-size-fit-all messaging across to your customers. Like, it makes it hard to get like good ROI and good results, and it might even be regarded as spam, right? And we don't want that. And we're going to go through some examples of how we can actually combat that. The second thing is the GDPR side that we have all learned to love and hate. No? So on the GDPR side, it also presents some hurdles for marketers. Well, because first you need to be very top of the information that is coming on privacy, on how do you handle data. You need to have a very congruent data strategy, right? So that makes practicing personalization potentially difficult, because you need to be handling maybe some personal or even sensitive data. And so that requires some sizable work on your front and maybe some deliberate data orchestration. And chances are, well, we all have this experience where we have to escalate to legal and then come through 10 round trips, right? Like in that experience. So definitely we see that as a challenge. And third of all is how a high touch model or creating this personal touch feeling is actually quite expensive, and it requires personnel. But we know this works, right? Like a personal approach to sales, to getting to your customer works. How do I know? I mean, when I was buying wedding ring, right? So after I buy the ring, that sales lady was texting me at every occasion. Like Christmas, she's sending me, Merry Christmas. And so like they really know how to keep top of mind. And that's why I also always want to buy rings. No? But that's probably a separate question. But what I want to say is that high touch model works. But then it's only realistic usually for higher AOV products, right? Average order value, because they can afford it, and you can have a team to engage like a group of VIPs, no? But then, like, how do you scale that, and how do you make sure that even if your marketing department isn't so big, you can create the same type of personal touch that we're talking about? Then that brings us to the solution side of things, right? So how do we create this one source of truth? It is through integrations, right? So for example, in our platform, what we have done as well is also integrate with shop systems, for example, integrate with CRMs, with kind of meet you where you are, so that you can find all the customer data all in one place. You know their name, you know what kind of products they usually like, because they would tell you, and I will tell you a little bit more about that. Like their VIP status, when they bought, what they bought, and you can really leverage that data to do two things, right? One is to craft a very relevant messaging to these people, so that they will get much more engaged. And the second thing is do better segmentation, so that the performance of your campaigns would also get much better. And the second thing is like the GDPR side, right? So if you don't want to worry about so many things, right, then you can also work, you can also get that off the bat compliance with, for example, a WhatsApp business solution provider. So Charles is like one of them. So a few tips on what you need to pay attention to, right, as you create these segments, as you do personalization. One is in terms of double opt-in, right? So when your customer opt-in to you, you need to make sure they confirm that they actually want to receive continuous newsletters from you. You need to respond to their request to unsubscribe pretty diligently. You need to, when they ask you for what kind of data do you hold about them, you need to be able to provide that. And even like thinking about data storage, where do you store people's personal data? Like for us, then we store all our data in Frankfurt, Germany, for example. These are also things to take care of. And maybe one thing to think about the looking through the security side and doing due diligence, it's also worth it to look into compliance certificate. For example, like we have the ISO 27001 that also makes sure that we're compliant not only on the product front, but also in the practices of a business. For example, what type of information can we share with our employees, who gets access to what, our IT posture, security posture as well. So these are also things that you can look into so that you can kind of delegate that responsibility more to a provider than having to take care of that yourself. Because I assume legal is not your core strength, no? Otherwise you wouldn't be in this room and you want to take care of the marketing side of things. Now, third of all is the automation, but then doing it in a personal way. So we all know like automation, it's great, right? But then how do you do it so that it wouldn't be as robotic, for example? And then you can get to the level of that ring lady that I told you about, really like being able to get the engagement of your customer. Then it really lies in two ways, right? Like definitely leverage a data strategy that I talked to you about, the VIP status, name, product preferences, a bunch of things that you know about your customer. So one is in terms of the template creation and how you build that message, right? Because you can throw that message in, for example, I know that you bought a ring with us 4 months ago, for example. You know exactly what they want and you know about them, and you can cater that messaging. At the same time, it's also the occasion at which you reach out, right? For example, when people first bought your product, you can also reach out to them, what do you think about the product? Are you satisfied with it? Do you know how to do it? So also finding these right occasion and segment that in the right way. Leverage the data you collect and definitely hone in on the two-way interactivity as well. Because with traditional email channels, for example, it's quite one-sided, right? But here in WhatsApp, you can really hone in on that by having a flow, for example, that you can talk to that person. And in fact, it's not just about the messaging then, it's also about what they send back to you. Because in this flow, given how engaged it is, you can have buttons, you can have lists, you can have video, audio, all of that. We find out that our customers actually really like to tell us stuff, what they want to buy. They actually want to talk to us. So let's give them the channel too. So that kind of concludes the solution on the personalization front. And now I'll pass the mic to Damian, who is going to go through 2 other problems with you.
Okay, 2 more to come. I'll be quick. So what else? Next to personalization and reachability, of course, timing, right? Exclusive drops, early access. There's so many marketing activities and campaigns that are time limited, right? And it's not only the reachability problem, so you have 25 versus 90+% of open rates. It's also the fact that WhatsApp is basically read within minutes. What we see across our clients, around 70% plus is actually read within an hour, right? So if you want to get a message not only in front of the people, but also in front of the people at the right time, it's a great, channel to do this. Also, the short span of attention, especially for younger age group, right? We know it. So how do you actually create that sense of urgency, that sense of anticipation? That's also one of the key challenges. And I think one that we've heard also earlier, purchase frequency. So actually getting the message right in time, knowing a little bit more based on data. What is the time between purchases? What is the right time to send the message, and gets all of that automated? Yeah, and the first solution I already told you. So yeah, 1 hour, that's around about 70% plus. That's where we put the cut off, and it's around about 1 hour. So that's how you get the message out to the people. And the formatting options of WhatsApp are also quite rich. Right? There is an option to work with videos, PDFs, pictures, quick reply buttons, links, menus that give you up to, I think, 10, 12, 14 answer possibilities. There is also an option to work with maps, so you can navigate the client to your next store. There is actually quite a lot of flexibility when it comes to redesigning the template. Although it's very short, so you grab the attention, it is quite rich. Anything about campaign automations and flows, that's I think also one topic that Louise and Stefan will cover. So let me conclude with the third element and come to community building. One key challenge: email one way, right? There is probably no one who really answers to your emails. If you ask questions, there is not that much of feedback that you can expect. VIP and loyalty programs, actually super cool to be part of it, but you either need a card or you need a login, you need to be on a website. Many people just forget about it. It's not very, very convenient. And I think the last element, what is also cool about, let's say, email messages, they can be very long, they can tell long stories, and they can be high-end polished, but actually they don't feel very, very personal. And again, these are the three things, right, that WhatsApp can help solve. So first of all, it's super easy to recollect user-generated content. It's easy to ask for a review. It's easy to ask for feedback. The user is actually on the phone already, so it's just a second or 3 seconds to take a picture and send it back to you. And this is also one of the use cases that we've seen more and more, that we see more and more often. Loyalty clubs, VIP clubs. It's cool, right? You can get that sense of flexibility, not flexibility, sense of exclusivity and proximity to the brand. And this is also something that more clients actually start using, right? So you need a little bit of an extra value proposition for the channel. So why should I sign up for yet another channel? What's in for me? So many brands actually use the channel to communicate only with a selected number of customers, either based on some data or based on whatever, and that is actually yet another argument for this channel. And last but not least, also a playground for creativity. So we talked about the interactivity, we talked about the formatting options. I think one of the games that you may have heard of, we also helped create WWF, a WhatsApp game. They won an award with it. So there is actually lots of, I think still untapped opportunities to play around with this channel. But now, I think basically the ground is set. You know what the challenges are, you know what potential possibilities are. So let's come to actually I would say the best part of today's masterclass, the real life stories and insights. And I think, Stefan, you'll probably talk a little bit more, of course, about your story, but it will be more about reachability and personalization. And I think Dermalogica's case is a very, very cool example that is all around timing and community building. But you will probably also see elements of each of them a little bit in each story. So without, Stefan, over to you.
Okay, thank you. So hello also from my side. Let's jump in right away. So setting the base, and I think that's also nothing new for every one of you, is that in CRM, at About You, and probably everywhere else, we focus on customer retention with the goal to create more loyal customers each and every day, and to get them the right message to the right person in the right channel at the right time. And as we were all kind of in e-commerce for About You, facing some challenges some years ago after inflation hit us all, we needed to kind of rethink getting customers back in store, because from a customer perspective, and I also felt that myself, probably we all did, is that we did not want to pay full price for the product over and over again during probably the past two years. We were all seeking for reductions, for promotions. Where do we get the best deals so we don't have to spend that much money? And also from an e-com business, so from our point of view, we did not want to be like, hey, there's another campaign up to 40% off, next weekend up to 30% off, then we have the spring sale, yay! But it's basically same and same over and over and over again. So we needed to kind of cope with that changing environment and with that new situation. After the Corona pandemic actually gave us some upwinds, we were facing a very difficult situation. And in general, and that's something that we all, I feel, should keep in mind, is that we're in general also facing a changing CRM environment. So years and years ago, there were people probably holding the same masterclass that we do about WhatsApp today about email newsletter, like how great it is, how everyone's opening emails, and yay, best read-through rates and everything. Same happened with app push notifications, and now we're in a new kind of phase, I feel, where conversational marketing is coming into place. And we are actually facing the challenge and testing a lot in terms of also personalization, personalized CRM via WhatsApp. So what did we do? We were actually starting WhatsApp due to the case that we wanted to rethink our sales and promotion strategy. So 1.5 years ago, we launched our first WhatsApp campaign. At About You, we call it FOMO campaign, so fear of missing out campaign. And this is a redesigned version of it that we did last December. So basically, we use the fact that customers can interact with us on that new platform, or not so new platform, but new marketing platform. And we asked via creators this time, we had some Christmas riddles that were pretty easy to solve, and we also gave pretty straightforward hints because we actually wanted people to redeem or to receive the vouchers. So for all of you who do not speak German, it's basically I'm white and falling out of the sky, what am I? And there's this snowflake. So actually that was also the solution that we wanted them to send to us. And then it says on the bottom, and that was actually an organic Instagram story that we posted. So send the solution ASAP via WhatsApp and get up to 30% off at About You. And the faster you were, the higher the discount was that you received. So we set different voucher pools of like a distinct number of vouchers per pool, and once it was gone, it's gone. Then you get 29%, then you get 28%. So that was a very, 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 from our point of view, unseen campaign format that we started 1.5 years ago. When we did it the first time, we needed to get rid of a lot of stock and everything. So we started at 50%, and that actually like went through the roof. And I can definitely encourage you to rethink your marketing strategies, rethink your campaign formats, because that's something that's really like paying off for us at About You. And as you might know, currently we're celebrating 10 years at About You. There's a cool set campaign this week, up to 50% off. Get your deals. But actually 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did a so-called I Spy campaign. We first did it last year in November, and it's basically based on the kids game I Spy with my little eye, in Germany, ich sehe was du nicht siehst. And so we, in November last year, we kept it pretty basic. We just told them, I spy with my little eye something that's yellow. And we also booked creators for that. They posted that stories. And engagement was crazy. Like, actually there was, I don't know if I should say it, but we actually brought down Charles for like an hour or so because we needed to really scale up, and like customers went crazy, like 30 answers at a time. That was super unexpected, and no one could have imagined that they went like that crazy. And so basically we set a list of solutions we are looking for, and if they hit one of those solutions, they got a voucher. And that was not like the FOMO effect, so it was basically a set of voucher per right solution. And we also did that, as I just mentioned, 3 weeks ago in our birthday campaign. So actually, we can also see that there's a lot of awareness for those campaign formats at our company right now, because management came to my office basically and said, "Hey, how about we do that for birthday?" And so there's actually a lot of attention. And for example, here we also kind of included some of the words in the designs. And then if the customer said a disco or disco ball or anything similar, they also received like a cool message with a cool image, like "Congratulations, you're a winner." And then it says, and that's a cool feature that Charles actually offers, we are able to dynamically insert the voucher amount, the number, like which number of person you are in the line, and and the voucher code automatically. So we have not like this birthday 20 voucher codes, but we have individual voucher codes for each and every customer, and that it's only possible because we have like a dynamic solution where we can put in a spreadsheet and it's automatically going into the messages, and that's pretty cool and really pays off also on the performance side. So that sounds all pretty cool, but still we are facing a lot of or some challenges with WhatsApp. So we have this one side where we have these creative campaigns that really pay off for us, but from a CRM point of view, personalization in this changing environment is still a challenge for us. So we need to face that Meta is actually putting up pretty high cost in the DACH region for marketing send outs. So we're talking about 11 cents per send out, and let's face it, in an e-commerce situation where we also steer on profitability, that's quite challenging. So that's something we actually are looking into. But we kind of believe in this channel. We also want to get it going in terms of personalization and CRM. So that's why we focus on personalization testings. That's a message we send out to a small customer group on WhatsApp, where we actually incorporated a basket product that was reduced, and that actually also performed quite well. No significant results because it was a super small group, and high efforts for that campaign because we don't run on a standard CRM solution. It's our own built solution. That's why it's a bit more effort. But yeah, that's something we're really looking into. The next test is planned for in 2 weeks, and then we want to do it on a regular basis. And fingers crossed, we all believe it's gonna work, but fingers crossed it will be working. So yeah, what's next? Let's see, evaluate the impact and achieve the next level of personalization is our goal. And so we have this CRM challenge on the one hand side, and on the other one, the new and unseen campaign formats. We have a lot in store, a lot of creative brainstorming happening, and stay tuned and follow our channels if you want to know about it. And I think that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you, Stefan. Honestly, the work that you're doing at About You has always been an inspiration to us, also Charles, and we're sharing your success stories with a lot of our customers as well, especially inspiring them how creative it can go, no? So maybe another round of applause for Stefan. Very cool. So next up, we have Luisa from Dermalogica. So take the stage, and she's going to tell you more about timing and community building.
Now I hear myself as well, so perfect. Love my voice. So welcome everybody, and thank you, Charles, for the opportunity to share the stage with you. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit more about the two other things, timing and community building. Let's see how much you're going to take away with it, but hope the best. So for us, retention is a very important part, especially because Dermalogica is a skincare brand, and we're coming out of the consultation room. So we do have cosmeticians who work for us, and basically our brand is all about personal touch. So we want people to know that no matter where they are, no matter what they're doing, if they're on the go, on vacation, whatever, that they can reach out to us and see what our services and products are there for and how they can support them on their way. Overall, we have a really high knowledge base, and we want them to share that with us and really get into skincare, especially because there are so many brands out there who are basically, of course, also competing with us. So expertise is the one thing that we figured we should go with because we have a lot of it. So yeah, as I said, we want all our customers to just support them on a journey and have a healthy looking and feeling skin especially, and just be happy all the way along with their skin and how it's improving. Retention as everyone mentioned already, we all know email marketing is the big thing. The last few years actually did perform quite well for Dermalogica and email marketing, but still we do face a lot of challenges like everyone else does. It is a very one-way stream, like one direct message from us to the customer. We don't have any clue if they really want to hear from us or see from us. We're just there, somewhere in their inbox. And WhatsApp, of course, is like a two-way stream. And as I said, expertise is one big thing for us. So with WhatsApp, we're now able to engage with them and also get a direct feedback. Also, we figured that we do have good open rates with email. Don't take the lower thing that serious, but still, of course, WhatsApp is right in your pocket. So the open rates are doubled, I would say, because every one of you has a phone with you. If you get a WhatsApp message right now, I guess 80% of you will reach for it in the next 2 to 3 minutes. So yeah, that's the good thing with it. And then lastly, of course, the lack of personal touch, which I already mentioned. We can tell our customers a lot through email marketing. Of course, we can educate them, we can send them great informational newsletters, we can share with them our sales. If we have some, we get them in our loyalty program and share with them, like, I don't know, you get 2 points this week for all your €1 purchases. But consultation comes first, and we want them to know that we're there for them and they can reach out to us as well, and we can educate them on their special skincare problem and not just some maybe relevant problem like anti-aging. So we just launched a few weeks ago a case with Charles, because why we started with Charles was the consultation part. We have the possibility to reach out to our customers, but also them to reach out to us. And that's how we kind of drive right now. So if you have a question regarding one of our services, regarding your skin, or just general product questions, ingredients, we do consultations now on WhatsApp. So you can reach out to us, and our community manager is dedicated to answer your questions. So basically, we employed a community manager at the beginning of the year because we thought it would be a great idea to just have one there for everyone's answers. So you can go on our website, that's how you can chat with us, and then send them our send your message to us like that. Since the beginning of the year, actually, we have now more than 200 personalized consultations, and it's not only the personalization, which is great, but also that these conversations do lead into a revenue stream for us. So every third of the consultations does lead into a product purchase, and we're pretty happy with that number actually, because we couldn't even imagine how much it could be. So yeah, overall, like, the revenue per conversation is more than €6, which is crazy if you compare it to email. I don't know about you, but I can tell you, we are under the €1 per conversation on a regular email. So this is one thing that we do. We do different things as well. Still, the conversations are great. I see all the phones coming up now. So we are trying and do A/B testing with Charles since August last year, so we're still pretty new to it. We just did a cooperation with another brand with WhatsApp. We all know things like the cooperations people do on Instagram, but you can do that as well on WhatsApp. And it did actually bring a lot of new followers or new subscribers to us. We did have a pretty high open rate because it was also in link with a lottery, so people could win our products on the side of the cooperating partner, and on our side, people could win something from our cooperating partner. Then we don't really do a lot of like sale campaigns. Dermalogica is pretty low on anything that goes into discounts. So what we do is give people 10% when they opt in to our email or WhatsApp, and then we do give them like monthly offers in the beginning of the month, and they really did perform quite well in the last month and still are going pretty strong, even though the open rate is lower and also the CTR, but it's way more obvious that you can have kind of a discount on products or just get a free product most of the time by clicking on the link. And what we also use WhatsApp for is giving more like a first come, first serve thing. If you are a subscriber of a WhatsApp channel, basically you are the first one to know if you launch a new product. You are the first one to know if there are discounts, no matter if it's just a product or Black Friday sale or once in a lifetime a real discount for a short period of time. Like, I can tell you, we would never do anything like 40 to 50%. But I'm still praying sometimes, but no, that's not a thing for us. But still, there are a lot of different campaigns you can send out, and also we're playing a lot with automations and trying to do like the post-purchase automations and cross-selling, just to see how our subscribers interact best with us. So what's next? As I said, we are building still on our flow automations. We started with reoccurring campaigns, which are basically, for example, birthday campaigns. People now can send us their birthday date and then they get an offer or a discount on their birthday when it's occurring and then reoccurring every year. We are playing with some campaign ideas and try to be more engaging with our customers. As I said, through consultation, it's a great thing, but also there are so much more possibilities with WhatsApp, which we also need to include and explore even more with our success manager. And then we do already have a loyalty program at Dermalogica, which we are relaunching right now. But we want to include with the relaunch also WhatsApp, so there's a bit more of an exclusivity to being a WhatsApp Dermalogica insider. There are a lot of things to come, and I'm really, really excited. And thank you for having me, and I'm giving the mic back to Jenny.
Thank you so much, Louisa. Yeah, now you make actually me want to sign up for the consultation session as well. And it's really impressive revenue per conversation as well. So yeah, very cool. Let's give another round of applause for Louisa. Great, so thank you for your patience. Now it's your time to shine and to ask questions. So like, give me a raise of hand if you want to ask any questions, say to any of the panelists or Damian and I as well. Okay.
Hello, thank you very much for the presentation. My question is about the phase before all that, the opt-in collection, because we know, especially in Germany, it's quite complicated with double opt-in. So where do you get all those phone numbers from? Is it only for customer retention, so the ones who already bought with you who agreed to give, or do you have any ways to get numbers from potential customers?
I'm just gonna answer first. I got the mic. That's a good question. So basically, we didn't have any of the phone numbers we are reaching out to right now. So we did do a new kind of acquisition flow with it. The one thing that we did is just place WhatsApp on our website. First of all, as you saw on the consultation part of it, after a consultation, our community manager is like asking, do you maybe want to also be subscribed to our newsletter, get monthly offers, so on? Wow. I try to be more engaging now. And then also just like in the footer, then we did a campaign via email telling people, hey, we have a new channel, maybe you want to opt in there because you're getting different offers there as well, and even be more have more immediate offers, because like we all know, like in email you have 1 to 2 days, which are just like all the emails sitting around, and then you're going lower and lower in the inbox of people. So this is something we did. We did it over Instagram and having an automated flow there. So they mentioned us in the story and also in a post. And then we have in our Instagram bio like a link to our WhatsApp channel. So there are, if you're being creative and just think pretty straight actually, there are a lot of options similar to email marketing, just that you do the automated flow with WhatsApp, and you definitely have to be sure that people really want to hear from you on that channel. And we were surprised that they actually want to hear it through WhatsApp from us. So the Germans are always like very GDPR friendly and are more like, oh, that's my phone number. I'm not sure if I want to give it out. But actually they do, because they want offers and they want free products and sales. So that's for us.
Yeah, that's actually the same for us. Basically, we just incorporated in those campaigns before they received the voucher code. We asked them, hey, you need to allow us to send you the voucher code, and please opt in here if you want to receive it. And yeah, they basically all opted in because they just want the voucher code, and some of them are immediately opting out after that again, but that's like, I would estimate less than 1%. They just like opt out right away. So yeah, be creative, I'd say.
Just follow-up question, in comparison to the CRM per email, how would you say, because you said you were surprised that so many people opted in, so what would you say is your database in terms of WhatsApp numbers now compared to usually what you had in terms of emails? Is it like, has it reached like a momentum where WhatsApp is going to replace the email communication?
Replace, never, because we see them cross-channeling kind of. But yeah, we see that we have like a pop-up also on our website, and most of the people who are coming to our website are mobile first, and the pop-up that's coming up on mobile is only advertising WhatsApp, so no email. So that's why we see a large increase in numbers of WhatsApp subscribers, especially compared now to email. They are not that as high right now as they are for email, because we do email since, I don't know, way longer than I feel like I live, but no, definitely a few years. But I feel like it's gonna be at one point kind of balanced out. More and more people are opting in, and it's just exciting to see how this channel can evolve if you just engage with the people.
Thank you.
Thank you. Just to remind you all that we also have the last session by Damian to give you a few tips on how to get started. But of course, we can get the questions flowing for a bit more, and then we can start with the last section.
Thank you. So in our company, every customer kind of like belongs to an agent. So when a real estate agent shows a house to someone, he will always be linked to this, like the customer will always be linked to this agent. So I'm wondering how you can solve the communication when you send out a newsletter or like a campaign on WhatsApp. How is it possible that this agent will get the message if the customer replies on the campaign on WhatsApp, so they always get back together? I would like to know the technique behind it.
Yeah, there are two ways to do so. So first of all, every agent could use a different chat-in code, right? So that would be for the welcome flow. So actually you could even see for every customer that comes in, you would see from which basically channel or agent or location that one user is coming from. That would be the first and most easier way. Second possibility is to ask for it in this welcome flow. So you could, like within the flow, you could basically ask questions and store the information, and that information that you store would be saved as a new property and could be then used for all further segmentation and campaigning and all automations. So that would be yet another opportunity. And third possibility is to do either a check. So either there would be a CRM that we can easily integrate with one click, or it would be more custom integration. And all that information could be stored as a property based on a upload or whatsoever. And also this information we could use in all segmentation possibilities. So every campaign, every automation would then be based on that data, and they could receive different, they could either receive different newsletter, different templates, or you could also decide to either yes or no send it to a group or not.
First of all, thanks for the really nice presentation. I have a question regarding the customers that you reach via WhatsApp compared to the customers that are subscribed for your newsletter. Do you know what kind of customers you reach via WhatsApp?
Whom do you want to answer?
Both.
Okay, so as I said, on like the CRM part of all that we're doing, we're quite in the beginning, I would say, and we will definitely try to also segment smartly and just send out WhatsApp campaigns to those who did not respond to push or to email to save some cost. But in general, it's kind of, from my perspective, and right now, nearly the same customer in average. It's just like a group that's probably not responding or doesn't want to receive emails, and yeah, but I feel like it's the same About You customer that we're like approaching.
So same voucher affinity? What do you think?
A higher voucher affinity, definitely. But for us, as of now, because we all acquired them via voucher campaigns. So that's the reason behind it for us right now.
I think it's similar for us. Like overall, the customer base is the same. We feel like they're even a lot more loyal customers because they see the advantage of the consultation part, just having us with them everywhere they go. For discount affinity, I kind of can't say because we don't have that big of a discount and we don't advertise saying like, wow, go onto WhatsApp, but we have like that much of a discount. But people are definitely more engaged on WhatsApp.
First of all, thank you very much for the presentation. It was very insightful to see. Now, my question for you, Stefan, is considering that you started your campaign with a lot of promotions, right? Trying to acquire the consumers in the first stage. On the follow-up stages, how did you educate them that WhatsApp channel is not like a promo hunting channel that the consumer can get different promotions and stuff like that, and it's more about trying to create an ambience and a relationship with you and the brand itself?
Yes, good question. So for us, as we are not like part of one of these known CRM systems, it's actually in this sense an advantage that we need to ask the people again to log in at About You with like a distinct parameter, so we can sync the ID from WhatsApp with our customer ID. And this way we know, okay, the people actually want to receive marketing messages on WhatsApp. And what you could always do is what Damian also said regarding the other question, just ask them. Like you get them in the voucher campaign and everything, and then like within this 24-hour conversation window that opens, just wait until the end and then just ask them, hey, for the future, you want to also receive marketing messages that might not be voucher related or stuff like that. And then that's an advantage that you have with WhatsApp that we did not have with email and push before.
Thanks a lot.
Okay, I would have one suggestion. I know that there are 1, 2, 3 more questions, but we're gonna stay here for a while. So just come to us and let's have a discussion, because I just wanted also to give you one opportunity to win something super cool. So I really want to show you one more thing, and let's have the discussion afterwards. So I think the recap I'm gonna skip, right? Why you shouldn't wait. I think this we have all understood. High acquisition costs. That's why more and more people turning to returning customers, retention revenue, and that's where WhatsApp come into play. I think this we got. What we also understood is that it's not a channel to replace any of your existing channels, right? I think it's something that really, in a nice way, complements all of the current marketing mix, right? So it's never about replacing email, it's more about complementing email and playing with the strength of each channel, right? So I think this is also one takeaway that we really want to you take with you. Why Charles? I think that's also we understood, right? That's basically the platform, and the platform that really allows you to segment based on different data. And with Stefan, I think we didn't bring the best example for that because of all the customized solutions, right? So here you see many logos, be it MRSs, Klaviyo, on the shop side, Shopify, WooCommerce. There's quite a lot. Also Zendesk, Freshdesk, Gorgia. So there are many integrations that we could use. If it's a customized solution, we would need to build. We would need to build it. We jointly decided to not to do it yet, but it's in a discussion also. And then of course also tracking, analytics. We know it's super important, so that's part of it. That's a marketing slide I'm gonna skip. But one thing I really wanted to show you is basically what you need to do, or what are the key steps to get started. And I think it all starts with a use case, right? Because it is not super cheap, right? There is a cost attached to it. Meta charges around 11 cents for each and every conversation. Conversation is a 24-hour window in which a business can have as many messages as they want to have with the consumer or with the user. So that costs 11 cents on Meta side, no matter which business service provider you work with, plus probably a smaller amount on the business service provider side, and there must be a revenue next to it, right? So it's not so much about the cost, it's really about picking the right solution that allows you to maximize the revenue. And that's why we really always start with the use case, with a business case, and that's why we also have a dedicated success management team and so on. Right? So that's really the key element to start. We would also clarify all legal, tech, data requirements, so all about integrations, what is it that you have, that it really fits into your tech stack. And only then we would really work on the contract and define a go-live plan. And then in the end, hopefully also celebrate many magic moments with the first sale, first campaign, and all the creative stuff, right? So that's a little bit the way from maybe today to basically your own WhatsApp channel. And one thing that I also wanted to say is that right after this masterclass, so I think in 5 minutes from now, we will right at our booth, which is around the corner. I think it's a 2-minute walk. This hall, it's booth F08, and we'll have a fireside chat with their tour. So I think there was one another case on the retail travel industry. There will be a fireside chat, and their tour offers you the possibility to win a 7-day trip to Greece. That's I think one cool thing to do. And the very last thing, I also wanted to let you give you the chance to experience it yourself. So there is a QR code. If you like, please take out your phone, scan the QR code, and there will be one nice automated flow. You can really play around with it. You can see some of the opportunities that WhatsApp offers you. And yeah, that's it from our side. That was the masterclass. Thank you all so much for joining and also staying with us until the end. Have a look, and now also let's have a discussion. Please come to us. Let's chat. Thank you so much.
Thank you.